Welcome to AgriPulse Newsmakers, where we aim to take you to the heart of ag policy. I'm Jacob Zajkowski. Our guest this week is Samantha Ayub, economics intern for American Farm Bureau, who joins us to talk about the current state of farm finances in the economy and market stability. But first, here's this week's headlines. The U.S. stopped inspecting avocados and mangoes from a state in Mexico after 2 USDA employees were assaulted and temporarily held captive during field inspections, according to the U.S. Embassy in Mexico City. American Ambassador to Mexico, Ken Salazar, says he's closely following the situation and is working with state and federal officials in Mexico. He plans to travel to the specific state next week to meet with Mexican officials and address safety concerns and other issues.
I'm Jacob Zajkowski, and I'm exploring the best of food systems in New York. Join me for a wonderful series of episodes on how food is being transformed at Cornell and beyond. We'll see agriculture's neatest robots, Central New York's busiest farmers market, code that's helping grow crops, behind the scenes of college food waste, and talk to brilliant scientists and community leaders who are creating change in the food system. This is Food Transformed.
Since Joe Biden's decision to end his re-election effort, new uncertainty exists in swing state Senate races. 34 Senate seats are on the ballot this November's general election, and this map shows states where Senate elections are happening. Favorable growing conditions nationwide and historic high on-farm stocks is expected to create high supply for grain commodities this fall. July's World Agriculture Supply and Demand Outlook estimates are down from the first February outlook, 10 cents for corn, 10 for soybeans, and 30 for wheat. To talk about farm finances in the studio is Samantha Ayub from the American Farm Bureau team of economists. Samantha, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Well, I want to start talking about farm finances in this current market. What is the farmer's wallet going to look like during this harvest season? And how are farmers managing the reliance on all these production loans as they're going year to year, looking at new equipment they have to purchase or reevaluating the land that they have? How are they managing new and increased loan value?
So obviously we're seeing great stress on farmers, and the American Farm Bureau has initiatives like the Farm State.
And that's putting some political pressure. It is an election year, a very unique year, a farm bill and a presidential election. Both tickets have been identified for the November election. How much are farm finances weighing on rural voters, especially our farmer voters?
Yes, I'm sure it's big in rural communities, as you said, even beyond.
Higher taxes are ahead for farmers if provisions in the 2017 Tax Cut and Jobs Act expire. This graph shows the average increase in tax liabilities for various sizes of family farm households if this change were to occur. USDA economists estimate that very large farms would see an average tax liability increase of more than $27,000, an increase of nearly 6%. Tax liabilities for mid-sized farms would increase by 14%. Water, soil, nutrients, and plants are libraries of valuable data, all waiting to be discovered. One scientist is bridging the gap between the digital age and the agri-food system, ensuring that fruit and vegetable growers have a successful harvest, all with the help of a new group of researchers, robots. The goal of transforming a food system happened through collective cooperation. Katie and Randy are only two voices of hundreds that came together to transform food. The soil beneath our feet and the food in our plate contain more than just nutrients. It contains data that's ripe for the picking, for researchers like you and Nick, who are leveraging it to increase food production efficiency around the world. Technology and collaboration is paving a way for a more fruitful future. Thanks, you.
Young producers are stepping up to the plate to lead the industry they worked hard to build and the flock they care about. At the Howard Wyman Sheep Industry Leadership School, lamb feeders are learning to diversify their skill and work towards building a stronger flock.
This is the third time Ohio has hosted this National Sheep Industry Leadership Program called the Howard Wyman Sheep Industry Leadership School. It's just an opportunity for us not only to show producers around the country what we're doing in the Ohio sheep industry, but also to see what impact we can have on bringing some live lambs in, harvesting them, and showing what they can do with clear down to wholesale cuts.
Roger High is the executive director of the Ohio Sheep Improvement Association and says there's no better time to bring the industry together to address challenges such as
lamb prices, have been tremendous. More so maybe in the East than the West.
The 5-day program is designed to highlight feeding, marketing, harvesting, and merchandising of lamb and lamb products.
In 2023, Americans spent an average of $7,102 on food. 44.8% of that total was spent on groceries for home-cooked meals, according to the USDA Economic Research Service. This map shows what Americans spend on groceries and the average spending by state. Green indicates the highest expenditures. The state of Alaska leads the nation in grocery store food purchasing, averaging over $4,000 spent annually. Grocery store spending in 2023 varied significantly in other states. West Virginia residents spent the least at about $2,500 annually, represented by light brown on the map. Thanks again for tuning in to this special episode of AgriPulse Newsmakers. We'll be back with a new show next week to track the newest developments in farm, food, and rural policy. In the meantime, you can stay up to date with the latest news on agripulse.com. For AgriPulse Newsmakers, I'm Jacob Zajkowski. We'll see you next time.